Sure, I'll photocopy 20 incorrect induction forms for you. Okay, background. So I work security at a place I won't name. One of our duties is to make sure any contractors working on site are inducted. This is done by having them fill in a pretty basic multiple-choice question sheet which takes a couple of minutes. It's not much of an induction, but it covers basic safety stuff. Anyway, our security office is pretty small, so normally we give people the paperwork and send them a way to fill it out. They can even email it to us if they want. Of course, the contractors love this as non-English speaking workers are pretty common, and we tend to get stacks of inductions coming back with eerily similar handwriting and sometimes the same mistakes. I've raised the issue before. But if management doesn't care, then why should I? Believe me, I've gotten into scraps with my immediate manager before about how lazily things are run. And nothing is ever done. So I've stopped caring as long as it doesn't get too insultingly obvious. So yeah, one day it got pretty insulting. We get a guy come in who's a little ballsier than usual. He's got an induction sheet already filled out and asks me to photocopy it 20 times. To be clear, all the questions have already been answered. He basically just wants his crew to sign their names on it. I obviously say no because even I have some standards, but my manager insists that I just do it. We get into a little argument. My manager takes me aside and basically gives me a rundown of how sick and tired of my shit he is. My shit being that apparently I'm the only one who complains about the low standards of our work. And how it would make everyone on his team liable if anything ever went wrong. He tells me to just photocopy them and that's that. Okay, so I give up. Go to photocopy the inductions. As I do, I realize that it's actually the wrong induction sheet. I don't know where he got this particular form from, but it has 14 questions instead of 12. And on top of that, 4 questions. A full third of this very simple induction are incorrect. Nice. So I photocopy the inductions and hand them over. Sometime later we get 20 inductions scanned and emailed to us. Holding in my laughter, I reply to the email. CCING and our higher-up manager as is procedure. Informing them that not only is every single induction riddled with a large amount of errors, but that they also appear to be identical, and that it's not even the right form to begin with. Within minutes we get a call from our higher manager wanting to speak to my immediate manager. I can't hear what's being said on the other side, but my immediate manager says that he photocopied the inductions and I hear muffled screaming coming over the phone. My manager then nervously backtracks and says that I photocopied them. The phone is passed over to me and I tell my higher-up manager exactly what happened. The phone goes back to my immediate manager and the screaming resumes. My manager ends up taking the phone call in the back room for about 10 minutes. When he comes out, he's obviously shaken and passes on to me that that group of 20 contractors will now be instructed to come in one at a time and fill in the paperwork in person while my immediate manager supervises them. Since then, my manager seems to have suddenly become very concerned with occupational health and safety. Very nice. Good for you, you trained him. Yeah, his own occupational health and safety. Tears of joy. I'm pleasantly surprised that your manager didn't find some way to blame you that didn't give you a chance to defend yourself. Good for you. I get the same kind of don't care attitude where I work. Drives me nuts. To quote Forrest Gump, stupid is as stupid does. I used to travel to industrial plants to work on medical equipment in their occupational nurses' offices. The equipment required yearly maintenance. OSHA gave them a 30-day grace period. And most places thought, if we always schedule the maintenance in 13 months instead of 12, we'll save a month every 12 years. Quote, They forgot, though, that my sitting through their mandatory safety film was not part of the service of the equipment, and was billed at $125 an hour with a 1-hour minimum. I'd see the big oil company safety video in one refinery, drive a bit and go to a different refinery belonging to the same company and watch the same video again. They didn't change much year to year. Since then, my manager seems to have suddenly become very concerned with occupational health and safety. Obviously, his employment was threatened. Yeah, I have had multiple security gigs where they were so relaxed on the rules it hurt my professionalism. And I usually end up quitting because I can't stand not giving quality. You really should have gotten the instructions to photocopy the forms in writing. That's basic CYA. At the very least. An email with, per our discussion at 3:30 today. You want me to photocopy the filled-in forms for contractor X. Sometimes the boss's boss will take your boss's side instead of yours, leaving you hung out to dry for any fallout that occurs. Having the instructions in writing tells him that you weren't the one who decided to do it wrong. Worthwhile having backup copies of the documentation as well, just in case someone, accidentally, loses the proof that they were wrong. Extra double super important when the shortcuts have legal consequences. So I work security at a place I won't name. I understand your reluctance to dox yourself. But if you're in the US, I really wish you'd name and shame them. I want to keep a very far distance from any of that shit show and anything they touch. Very nice, and a wise lesson learned by lower management. Don't fuck with safety measures. I mean, if the forms are that important, can't they offer a translated version so the non-English speaking contractors can fill it out? That guy is no manager. How dare you have standards? Clearly you're in the wrong job if you have those. So glad you got hand the manager his own ass on a silver platter to his manager. Good. Sometimes managers need some very heavy-handed training. Love it. Good MC, and very well executed. Yeah. Because in Canada they can put managers in jail for serious oversights that end in bad accidents.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.